We are back at the Fabulous Forum in Englewood, California. Kansas City and the Los Angeles Lakers. And an opportunity to see the Lakers with their high-moving offense. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Lawrence Tanner for our player introductions.
Let's meet the reserves right now for the visiting Kansas City Kings. Number 10, Don Boosie. Number 25, Billy Knight. Number 40, Larry Mishaw. Number 20, Ed Neely. Number 33, Dave Robish. And number 42, Mike Woodson. The Kansas City Kings had one guard, number 22, in his fourth year from Missouri, Larry Drew. The other guard is number 24 in his sixth season from UNLV, Reggie Theus. At one forward, number 8 in his third year from Illinois, Eddie Johnson. The other forward is number 53 in his ninth season from Minnesota, Mark Oberding. And at center, number 41 in his second year from Texas, LaSalle Thompson. Trainer for the Kings, Bill Jones. The assistant coach is Frank Hamblin, and the head coach is Cotton Fitzsimmons. Let's meet the starting lineup of the 1984 Pacific Division champions, your Los Angeles Lakers. At one guard, number 32 in his fifth year from Michigan State, Irvin Magic Johnson. The other guard, number 40 in his third year from Michigan, Mike McGee. At one forward, number 21 in his sixth year from New Mexico, Michael Cooper. The other forward, number 31 in his third year from Santa Clara, Kurt Rambis. And at center, the captain, number 33 in his 15th year from UCLA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Trainer for the Lakers, Jack Curran. The assistant coaches are Bill Burka and Dave Woe. Head coach is Pat Riley.
We are back and we are just about ready to go. Tommy Nunez is on the left, Jess Kersey in the middle, Hugh Hollins is on the right. It'll be Kersey and Hollins with Nunez, the alternate. Always have three officials during the playoffs. And we are just about to set to go as you look at the starting lineups with Larry Drew and Cooper, the guards, opposite Theus and Johnson. These are the starting lineups. They will not necessarily match this way. LaSalle Thompson at center against Kareem. It'll be Eddie Johnson against Mike McGee. Magic and Eddie, no relation. Mark Olberding going against Kurt Rambis, the power forwards. And pretty much similar styles of ball. I think what we may see here, John McLaughlin, is Magic Johnson switching over on Eddie Johnson.
Right. That's what we've seen in the past, and Cotton Fitzsimmons feels that's something that does concern his ball club. So we'll see if the matchups go that way tonight. Now remember, Kansas City feels they must get out and run because with Theus and Eddie Johnson and some of the speed that they have on this Kansas City team up front, Larry Drew, if they don't run, they don't take advantage. But the Lakers, masters at the fast break game.
And the Lakers win the tip. Kurt Rambis coming away and going to Magic Johnson. One other interesting point of information as far as how Kansas City will play Magic Johnson.
That's right. What Kansas City will try to do, and look at the Lakers go inside quickly to Jabbar, but something the Kings want to do is prevent the ball from coming back to Magic once he gives it up. So when he brings it up front court, once he gives it up, they do not want to allow him to get the ball and control the tempo and the offense of the Lakers.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the foul. Larry Drew is a very fine basketball player. He has got exceptional speed, and I look for him to do a lot of penetrating here tonight, at least to try and do so.
He's an outstanding guard in professional basketball. He has great quickness. He can handle the ball well. He can go to the basket. And, of course, if you're Kansas City, one of your ideal strategies early, Eddie, would be to get Kareem in foul trouble if you can possibly do that and get him out of there.
78% at the line, Drew. He missed 9 of the last 11 games of the regular season with a strained ligament of the left foot. 13.8 average versus the Lakers this year. Larry Drew. He is an exceptional point guard, averages right around 7.5 assists a game. Pressure on the inbound. Olberding back there. Now he has to retreat. Remember the strategy against Magic. Once he gives it up, they'll prevent him from trying to get it back, and Drew will have the assignment. Cooper. Mike McGee, exceptional offensive player, McGee. Look for him to be going to the hoop all the time. He's always around the basket, and he is just brilliant on their fast break. He's got a nose for the iron. You watch him, he'll be around the horn all night tonight.
And with Jamal Wilkes out with an illness, obviously he's going to get more playing time.
They're staying right on top. Clock at 3. Kareem forced to shoot.
Good defense by Kansas City, and they would like to force the Lakers to go down to 22 seconds on the shot clock, or 2 or 3 remaining whenever possible. However, the big guy goes outside and relieves the pressure.
21.5 points per game to lead the Lakers for his 9th successive season since coming here. Kareem. That's Theus. Rambis down hard. Abdul-Jabbar with a rebound. Jabbar regular season 7.3 rebounds per game. No Jamal Wilkes tonight. He has had a reoccurrence of a problem that has plagued him since late February, upper respiratory ailment. Kareem.
The big man obviously here to play. Now that when he gets off the glass, there's basically 3 ways to play him, Eddie. Head up, try to shut everyone else down, double down on him as soon as he catches the ball, or double down once he puts it on the floor. That's what most teams try to do. That's what Kansas City will try to do.
And we'll have a foul called against Los Angeles. It'll be on Michael Cooper. Cooper starting in place of Jamal Wilkes. Wilkes would normally be there. They're going to miss him. Not sure when he'll be back. He is very, very weak. 17.3 is the average they will miss without Wilkes. Cooper brings in not quite those impressive a statistic, but he's an excellent player. 9.8 points per game. Eddie Johnson. We talked about him early. He can really score.
He can. Now, Magic Johnson is guarding him, as you indicated, Eddie. And Eddie Johnson is a player that has not scored well against the Lakers. He averages about 21 a game on the year. 22 make that, and yet he's only scoring at 15 against the Lakers.
How about the value of having a good center who can see the floor and make the pass like Jabbar just did?
Well, how can you even put a value on it? It's absolutely imperative for the great centers, and of course all the really good ones have been able to do that.
8-4, Los Angeles. Theus to the hoop. They're trying to run. LaSalle Thompson put it down rather than going straight up with it. Kareem was there, almost got a piece of it. Thompson is 6'10". Kareem, of course, 7'2". McGee, there he is. That's the man we talked about. Outstanding going to the basket.
A lot of inside basketball for the Lakers. They have a strong inside game. Kansas City does not. And that is a problem for the Kings because they don't have an inside game. And listen to these statistics, Eddie. On the year against Kansas City, the Lakers are shooting it at 54%. They shoot it at 53% against the league. Kansas City shooting at 43 or 44% against the Lakers. That's not good.
Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson, a number 2 draft choice from the University of Illinois. On the miss by Magic. Rebound KC. Up to Theus. He's added some spark to this club. And shy with it as Magic's got it. And they're running now. And the Kings are playing right into the Lakers' hands right now. But that time, McGee on a traveling violation.
Yeah, he held the ball just for a beat. He probably should have taken another dribble to pull the defensive man to him. You know, in a 2-on-1 situation, you can't make the passes too far apart, and yet you can't get your bodies too close together either because one man can play you.
10-8, that's what we have. Los Angeles, Larry Drew, LaSalle Thompson, and he knocked Michael Cooper right down.
Cooper played that well, Eddie, and you know he's going to do that. Not smart by Thompson. Now watch, look. You see the contact even through the elbow up. They're going to call that. There's no point in getting yourself in that kind of a foul difficulty.
Magic Johnson, played by Reggie Theus. And that'll present a problem for Kansas City. They'll have some switching on the transition from one end to the other as their assignments go. What a pass. Magic to Cooper, and that is why Magic Johnson led the NBA in assists this past year with an average of 13.1 per game. Not quite a record. The record 13-4 by Kevin Porter. But what a year Magic Johnson had.
And what happened on that play, Mark Oberding bumped Cooper and then let him go. He didn't go with him. Defense not sharp by Kansas City.
Drew to Theus. Came over here on the trading deadline from Chicago. A very controversial situation in Chicago, and it's worked out well for Theus in Kansas City. 12-10. Magic Johnson. And quickly retreats to the other end to pick up Eddie Johnson. very aware of their men, John.
Right, and a lot of layups here by LA early. The Kansas City defense has not been strong against the Lakers this year. It's a problem for them, although LaSalle Thompson countered with a good inside play prior.
Mark Olberding, and he travels with the ball. Olberding's been around a long time, 9 years, but he's still a young man. At 6'9", 230 from Minnesota, played there only 1 year. Magic. Olberding went to the ABA and then came over from San Antonio to Chicago and down here this year. That's Kareem. He's added some good moves to his arsenal. That, however, is one we've seen for 15 years.
Well, this is a real problem for Kansas City, more than a lot of teams. Who's going to play Jabbar? LaSalle Thompson has a big body, but he doesn't have the experience. And when you play Kareem, you got to have both.
And obviously, Kansas City trying to stay with Los Angeles by running. And by running, they're playing into the Lakers' hands because that is when Los Angeles is at their best. They can play a half-court game, but if you allow them the opportunity to set up a break, look out.
Well, Eddie, I think you want to run against them. Kansas City feels they won't get that many good shot opportunities for their better players with quickness like Johnson, Drew, and Theus. But you have to play controlled fast break. If it's not an obvious good break, don't take it.
And we have a foul inside. But again, part of the Kansas City strategy, immediately as soon as the ball goes inside, right away you'll see a double-up situation. And we saw when the ball went in the hole that time. The Lakers 16, Kansas City 12. We'll take a break, pause for this word from our local cable systems. We have 6:16 to play in the first period. It's Los Angeles 16, Kansas City 12. Out east they had a game. Interesting. Philadelphia and New Jersey in Philadelphia, and New Jersey 116, Philadelphia 101. Surprise you, John?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, all week I've been suggesting on the air that Philadelphia might have some problems, and of course that's no mastermind by me as we look at Pat Riley and look at the score, but New Jersey has played Philadelphia well. Philadelphia has had some problems over the last few weeks with injuries.
Williams, that's Buck Williams with 25 and Birdsong with 24 led New Jersey, and Andrew Toney, who is back from an injury with 24. Moses Malone had 20. Buck Williams had 16 rebounds and Malone 11. And now Philadelphia in the short series with a problem, trailing 0-1, the defending champs. Mike McGee normally would not start. Byron Scott would be the starter at one guard. He is not able to play, probably will not play maybe the second game of the series. They may rest him, depending upon how it goes here tonight. So McGee and Cooper are late starts. Rambis cleaned and pressed. Cooper, McGee ahead on the left. And there's McGee.
Well, Eddie, in looking at McGee play and Cooper, both these guys coming off the bench most of the time, they're starting, of course, tonight. That shows you the depth, and all the good teams can go down their bench. They've got the depth, they've got people they can go to.
McGee shot 59% for the regular season, average right around 10 a game. Eddie Johnson.
Yeah, he's a key for Kansas City to get him off. He can hit that jumper, and the Lakers went in the half-court trap on that particular situation.
Eddie Johnson right around 22 points a game and 49% field goal shooting for the regular season. He's really turned out to be a dandy. We've got an illegal defense call against Kansas City. And I'm trying to think who was that on? Was that on Eddie Johnson?
Well, they didn't indicate that I could pick up.
Yeah, I think
it was Eddie Johnson.
Yep. Eddie Johnson. 19-14. Officials right on it. McGee. Abdul-Jabbar and LaSalle Thompson.
Too big.
And a foul called inside. LaSalle Thompson played 2 games in the regular season against LA, averaged 12 rebounds against him. So he uses his big body pretty well.
Yeah, he does. He's going to have to, but in this situation, his big body was not big enough because Jabbar over the top. But look at Oberding and Rambis. What a wonderful matchup that is for a tag team job. Those two guys really battling one another. Mark Oberding will leave.
Mark Olberding will come out of there. And it'll be Larry Mishaw coming in. This is probably as early as he's been in all year.
You know, with Mishaw coming in, Eddie, it highlights the fact that Kansas City is a very young team. They're a very inexperienced team when it comes to playoff experience. Some of their veterans have never played in the playoffs. So that's a big difference in this particular series. And, of course, the Lakers very experienced.
And that's one of the reasons why it's a little surprising that they would come in with Mishaw right here. However, in the last couple of weeks of the season, Cotton said he was improving and more was becoming their man. He had 15 points and 17 rebounds in the game that got them into the playoffs, their last game of the regular season.
Well, Eddie, with Oberding going out, they need his strength in there, and that's why he's coming in now. Of course, they've got Woodson and Billy Knight to come in off the bench, but they want them in other situations.
That's Rahj'iladelphia, little 2-on-2 game. James Worthy will get set to come on for the Lakers. Magic Johnson. And a foul call on the play.
Now, Magic obviously will key their offense. He'll run the break and bring it up the floor. But already in this ball game, when he's given the ball up, we have not seen Kansas City, their guards, and it's Reggie playing him at this point, overplaying him and keeping the ball away from him.
James Worthy has come in, and the crowd loving him. He is definitely a superstar to be in this league. And you talk about a fella that is a contributor. They love him in Los Angeles, and what a player he is. Worthy averaging 14.5 off the bench. Block shot, Worthy. Larry Drew's attempt. Here come the Lakers with a 3-on-2. Magic. Kareem on the tip, deflected to Rambis. And out to Cooper.
Eddie, I think they missed a pin at the other end. I think that should have been a score for Kansas City.
And so did Cotton Fitzsimmons. And up come the Kings. And the ball skips out of bounds. Let's point out something here. Turnover-wise, regular season, the Kings 18, the Lakers 19 a game, right around there. So they're right about in the same category. And that's not bad, particularly for the Lakers, a team that likes to run a lot.
Rather interesting. In their game, 5 games against one another, the Kings have more field goal attempts than the Lakers. That's a surprise.
Deflected back out to Theus. The Kings keeping 2 men back to prevent the break the other way if they can.
You know, we've talked about Kansas City's defense. We ought to talk about LA's as we look at it. And that's a key point right there. But Jabbar can roam and give help because they're not dominant in the middle.
And there's their break. And so often, their defense will trigger their offense, and that is where the Lakers are at their best. Kareem averaging about 1.8 block shots per game.
Hey, some of the good running teams are also excellent defensive teams. Philly, Boston, LA, Milwaukee. Defense keys the offense.
And we have a timeout. It's called by Kansas City. The Lakers 24, the Kansas City Kings 16. We have 3:37 to play in the first period. Eddie Doucette, John McLaughlin. We're coming back on USA Sports. The Kansas City Kings were not the most artistic team record-wise this year, 38-44. But they won the games at the end of the season they had to win to get back in it. And there is a big problem for the Kings in this series. Out-rebounded so far, 9-3 in the game. During the regular season, they average around 42 rebounds a game. The Lakers around 44. And against each other head-to-head, 5 games, the Lakers a clear leader on the boards.
Well, but there's one reason for that besides that the Lakers can go to the boards with some people. The difference is the Lakers, at their end, are shooting 54%. There aren't as many defensive rebounds for Kansas City. At the other end, the Lakers have had a lot of defensive rebound opportunities in their series because the Kings have only shot 44%. That is not good.
Dave Robish has come in for Kansas City. He was added to their roster the last couple of weeks when Josie Merriweather hurt a foot in one of our USA games in Portland. Larry Drew, block. The Lakers have got it. Mike Cooper made the block. Magic Johnson will bring it up. The Lakers with a big lead. They'll want to try and sting Kansas City early and get the game underway or get the lead here in the first game of this 5-game series. Trying to get it inside to Worthy, knocked away by Eddie Johnson. Now Bob McAdoo will come in the lineup. McAdoo will replace, well, let's see who has to replace, Kurt Rambis. So there's part of the depth of the Los Angeles team.
You know, you saw that block by Cooper, Eddie. He was voted again this year as on the first team, all defensive team, Jabbar on the second team. So the Lakers have 2 people on these all defensive teams in the NBA.
James Worthy getting back into the picture after he fell down. A year ago, he missed the playoffs. McAdoo was not healthy either. They'll make a big difference this year for Los Angeles. Illegal defense call.
Good call. I saw that one. You could see that one setting up. Bob McAdoo and Kareem, as a matter of fact, both standing in the paint right under the basket. All the offensive players were outside the hash marks.
24-16. That is our score. Los Angeles. Philadelphia beaten by New Jersey, game 1 of their series tonight. That's Drew, tries to shoehorn the bounce feed, kicked by Worthy and out of bounds. Nice recovery by James Worthy. Last year didn't make it. Cotton Fitzsimmons wants a set play, calls the 1 play.
Now with Mike Woodson in the game, he's an excellent shooter, a big guard, a good scorer, but Magic goes over on him. Magic can nullify that because he's a little bit bigger than Woodson.
Double screen on the left side. They go right with it. Michaud on the post-up clears out, and they let his man inside to work. The reverse coming baseline that time by Eddie Johnson. Nice play. That was the third option on the play.
And that was good off-ball movement by Eddie Johnson, and he has already scored 10 points in this game, Eddie. He's close to what he's averaging against the Lakers on the year.
Eddie Johnson against the Lakers, 14.8 in the 5 games. Kareem. And that is Larry Michaud. Remember him, Mr. Mean at the University of Houston? Yeah, Cotton says he's starting to become poised as a pro. And 2 more. Mike Woodson played in Indiana. He can light it up.
Yeah, he sure can. And that's a good matchup. Also, Robish in the ball game doesn't have the skills of Jabbar, but he's got experience and size, so he can probably play Jabbar better than Thompson did.
24-20 Los Angeles. Down the lane, McAdoo. Kareem with a no-look dish off.
Kareem has been, over his career, one of the best centers at giving the ball up. And, of course, I should know. I played a number of years with him in Milwaukee. You could get on that weak side, Eddie. If you were open, he found you.
About 3 assists a game. Robish with a high screen. That clears into the right corner. Drew on top. Johnson inside Michaud. And foul. McAdoo burned on the play, tried to recover, and fouled on the play. Now Mitch Kupchak comes in. John, quite a story. The Lakers activated Kupchak, last NBA playoff appearance in 1979, missed 2 years because of serious knee problems. But he is back. He played very little this year. He replaces Kareem, who goes to the Laker bench. And at the line will go Michaud, but Kupchak had a ligament damage to the left knee, and he had 2 operations. And when he came back and made their team this year, they were just going to let him take most of the year and count on him next year, but he recovered the last 6 weeks here. He's been a key factor backing up Kareem.
2 points, Eddie. 1, that was a good foul, by the way, inside by McAdoo to put Michaud on the line. He missed 1. 2, when I look at Kupchak and all that armor on that leg, I just get concerned about it. It looks weak.
There's Worthy. Nice little move inside. And Robish with a rebound. He's been around a long time. Played with the Lakers once. Up to Eddie Johnson. Tried to reverse. Worthy with a block and a foul call inside. How about the recovery by Worthy?
It was beautiful. Worthy with great quickness. Now look, Eddie Johnson is very good on the fast break. And when the Kings can get him the ball out here, that's plus for them. But look at Worthy. He blocks that one. The second one blocked also, but there's a foul called on it. And look at that play by Worthy. You know, the Lakers, for a running team, Eddie, do a pretty good job of converting back to defense. Michaud having problems at the line. That was not a goaltend or a pin.
That was Mitch Kupchak's foul. Larry Michaud, 54%. And the Lakers now with their 15th foul over the limit. And Michaud, not a good free throw shooter as mentioned. And so now it's a 26-21 ball game. And Kupchak foul, trying to take it in against Larry Michaud. Big, strong man right there, Michaud. He is 6'9", 230, and Mitch Kupchak will go to the line. Kupchak, if you remember, from North Carolina. Mike McGee comes back into the Laker lineup, and Magic Johnson will go out. And even without a Byron Scott, their very fine rookie, and a Jamal Wilkes, they still have a lot of depth. Jamal not even here tonight. He's hurting, John. He is weak. They really don't know what it is. He's undergone a lot of tests, but they've tried to get him back in the lineup 2 or 3 times for the last couple of months, and it just hasn't worked out.
Well, you know, that's a concerning thing for a lot of people, obviously, with this organization, because with the playoffs starting now, even if he starts feeling better, Eddie, it may be some time before he really regains game condition.
28-21 the Lakers. We're down to the final 50 seconds of the first period. Larry Drew, Michaud with a high screen. McGee slides under the screen. He'll play Drew. McAdoo and Michaud, 2-man game now. On the switch up, inside with a pick and roll. Michaud with a backhand layup and a foul. Pretty nice 2-man game.
They're going to score the basket there, and it was a good 2-man game. And you know, when you go to that 2-man game, that's good for Kansas City because it allows Drew to work. Drew is an excellent player, and you saw them double out on Drew, leaving Michaud open inside with an excellent pass.
And that foul goes on James Worthy. That is his first. Lakers over the limit as mentioned, and Michaud gets the 3-point play.
You know, we're seeing more isolation basketball in the NBA. More, you know, spread the floor and let the guys work some 2-man. Some of your better offensive players.
Worthy.
Boy, he's tough inside. Got the best reverse first step in the pivot probably in basketball.
He's complaining. He thinks he's getting manhandled. Lakers now 30-24 lead, down to the final 16 of the period. And the Kings will work for one. Mishaw set up on the right side, hole high. On the pin down, they interchange on the right side. That is Woodson. Nice setup play. Drew triggering. Woodson and Mishaw with a screen.
And that's where Woodson is good. He can get the shot. At the buzzer, it's Cooper.
Almost out of the building. We played one. Cotton, your guys are hanging in there. Trying to play the Lakers with their game. Run and gun. 30-26 Los Angeles. Second period just around the corner. This cable cast is presented by authority of the NBA. Any rebroadcast or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA or USA Network is prohibited. Eddie Johnson, along with Larry Drew, Mike Woodson, Dave Robish, and Larry Michaud in there right now. Field goals so far, there they are. The Kings a little bit less than the Lakers. As Drew brings it up. Not a very big man, but a good one. He is 6'2", 190, played at Missouri. A second-round draft choice, originally Detroit.
That's big by normal standards.
Yeah, big in my league. Big in my house, he'd be a giant. That's Eddie Johnson. And a loose ball foul on Larry Michaud. Is it on? No, wait a minute. They changed it. Pat Riley can't believe it.
McAdoo. They say McAdoo pushed from behind. And when you're a strong offensive rebounder, Michaud in that situation, trying to get to the glass, that puts the pressure on the defense, and you can get some fouls like that.
So McAdoo with his second, Lakers with one early here in the second period. Eddie Johnson, Dave Robish. I couldn't even begin to tell you the name of the teams that he's been on. It'd take a long time. He's been on a bundle. ABA and NBA. And out of bounds it goes, and it'll come back to Kansas City.
Eddie, offensively, what Kansas City will do, as many teams in professional basketball, they'll run a point guard offense with Larry Drew outside. Look, Michaud gets inside. The defense does not counter.
30-28, Kansas City comes crawling back. Mike McGee for the Lakers, James Worthy, he's 6'9", Kupchak is 6'9", he's in there on Robish, who's 6'10". You've got Cooper, 6'7". In the paint, not in the paint. James Worthy. There's that quick step you talked about, and there's no way you can defend that.
They set that up nicely. Worthy swings the ball, then he flashes into the paint off of a screen on the weak side from Kupchak. And when Worthy gets the ball in deep like that, he's awesome.
And there's Woodson. And the follow inside by Eddie Johnson. And no block out by the Lakers. Eddie Johnson, 6'7" and 210. 3-year man. Last year averaged around 20 a game. This year a little over 21.
Kings hitting the offensive glass here.
In the hole, Kupchak, little turnaround. Yes, sir. 6'10", I said 6'9". He's 6'10", 230 at North Carolina. And then over with the Washington Bullets, and came over here for big bucks. Big bucks.
When he was with the Bullets, he could mix it up pretty good. Had a good year in particular, and it's too bad to see that injury. Glad to see him back.
Robish, who played at Kansas, pulls up. And he misses it. Here come the Lakers. McGee. And McGee following on the trampoline. It won't go, but he's fouled and he'll go to the line.
McGee, one of those guards that's good inside. You know, he plays bigger than he is when he gets the ball down into the paint like this situation. Now look at him. He puts it up, he'll get it back. He's been a good rebounder for a guard throughout his early career, and yet it's very young.
And he will go to the line. McGee has been an excellent player this year. What an improvement he has made over last year. He averaged 4 points a game last year. This year, between 9 and 10 points a game. And more importantly, he has made some big contributions for the Lakers. Been around 60% all year. Magic Johnson now will replace Michael Cooper as Coop sits down and McGee at the line. Boy, I'm looking at Robish. Denver, San Diego, and Indiana, the ABA. Indiana, LA, Cleveland, Denver, Kansas City in the NBA. Been around.
You know, McGee, he'll throw some Steely Dans up there from the free throw line, though. He's shooting 54% on the year, and he's missed a couple tonight.
We've got a foul call against the Kansas City Kings. Billy Knight, who just came in the game during those free throws, and the foul will go, well, let's see, that was on Eddie Johnson, or was it on Larry Michaud? Who did they score that foul on? I believe it's on Michaud, and if it is, it's 3. That's right. Scoreboard just a little bit late.
Yeah, that's why he's bye-bye. They got to get him out of there before he gets number 4.
So they've got Ed Neely replacing him immediately. That's a story in itself. Magic. They don't want Magic to get the ball back. We told you that. Inside. So far, Kansas City doing a good job on Magic Johnson. And Magic has scored a total of 5, but they put some pressure. LaSalle Thompson now will come back, and Dave Robish would go out. Robish, as I mentioned, probably would not be playing were it not for the fact that Joe C. Merriweather would be healthy. Merriweather's on their bench, as is Dave Suttle, who played with him most of the regular season. That's Mike Woodson. Magic with a rebound. Had over 7 a game this year. McGee to the hoop. Drew.
Oh,
Boy, did he pick him clean, huh? Flash. Like John McLaughlin working on that Thanksgiving turkey. Get every ounce of meat off the bone.
that's a kick by Worthy. It'll come back to Kansas City. Remember when Walt Frazier played, he didn't have the quickness of Drew, but he's the guy that could come up and suddenly just, you blink your eyes and he could do this to you. And look at Drew. Great timing.
35-30. 8:55 to play here in the first half. Drew looks for the pick and roll. LaSalle Thompson trying to come inside. Comes weak side, Billy Knight. And Billy Knight with a carry-in half hook. And it's 35-32.
And Billy, over his career, Eddie, can play guard or forward, and he's very good in the paint also.
James Worthy on the post-up on Ed Neely. That's a little bit much of a mismatch as far as the offensive game is concerned. Neely's got to use the body, and now LaSalle Thompson called on the foul. Neely was an 8th-round draft choice. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back into the Lakers lineup. Don Boosie will come into Kansas City's lineup, and Robish will come in as Thompson quickly picks up his second foul, and he goes bye-bye.
Now, something both of these clubs are doing quite well is moving without the ball. The Lakers always get good off-ball movement, a lot of cuts through the paint. We're seeing more of Kansas City cuts popping out for the jump shot rather than through the paint. With Woodson in, they like to run screens on the base for him.
And there's Eddie Neely, the 8th-round pick we talked about. Played at Kansas State. Second-year man. No one figured he'd even have a chance at making an NBA team, let alone sticking. Woodson follows his own missed shot, gets the loose ball foul. Woodson showed some nice instinct going to the hoop. He's only 6'5", but he can really get up on that on the ladder.
Yeah, he can. And not only is he a fine offensive player, he can play some D. And he's been in the game on Magic Johnson. Now, Theus will come back in and play Magic. He's not as good a defensive player as Woodson. And neither one of these players have done a very good job of preventing the pass back to Magic, but it hasn't hurt them that much yet.
Magic to Worthy, right there.
That hurts.
Worthy flashed off the baseline, came up in the middle of the paint. Magic hit him with a beautiful hook feed, and it was all over.
Worthy probably flashed post quicker than anyone in the game.
He can flash it up there.
Yeah.
Boosie, 12-year man, been around ABA and NBA also. Boosie picked up as an extra this year, 6'4", 195. That's Robish deep in the corner. And they used to call him Robo.
Robo. He's put it up once in a while and made that jumper.
He's not bashful. Worthy. You see how he changed up when he saw the defense coming from the other side?
He's magnificent, and he posts so quickly, and then when he turns, watch his first step if you get an opportunity. It's a tremendously long, quick step, and it propels him past the defense.
He could be the difference in the Lakers' chances this year. James Worthy.
Yep.
He is the ingredient. Robish. Kareem came out on him. Robish went around him.
Who's that? Worthy. Defense, that's how.
He's worthy of every tag they've given him, too. He is
really
exceptional.
And, you know, they've brought him along slowly. Now, watch. They go by Jabbar as Robo fakes the shot, but who's there? James Worthy.
Rambis has come in. McAdoo has gone out to the Lakers. Lakers rotating their people, as is Kansas City. Nice pass, Theus to Boosie. In and out. Hoop just didn't want it.
Theus giving it up a lot more in Kansas City, trying to play within the teamwork that Cotton Fitzsimmons wants. Doing a good job in that regard.
Magic with that hip-high dribble to Rambis. And then they flash post again. And deflected by Kansas City. It'll come back. And it'll be the Lakers to get it back, but they'll bring it in with 15 seconds on the shot clock, 6:52 in the half, and a timeout called by the Los Angeles Lakers. It's the Lakers 39, the Kings 34. We'll take a break. This word from our local cable system. The Lakers 50% in the first period, Kansas City 61%, but Kansas City trailed, of course, in the ball game. Lakers not giving them exactly all that they wanted. Lakers took 24 shots and the Kings only 18. Pat Riley, the youthful coach, finishing his 3rd year, and he's done a marvelous job. John, you played with him in San Diego.
I sure did. Pat Riley came to San Diego as a rookie from the University of Kentucky. I remember he came driving in that Corvette, young single guy. He went out on the floor and proceeded to beat us all up. He was a physical player.
Team with the 2nd best home NBA playoff record, the Los Angeles Lakers. The team with the 1st best, home playoff record?
Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
No, not home. They're road.
Yeah,
They're road. They're home, Portland.
That's correct.
Boy, am I sharp.
Not too many games, though. Not as many as the Lakers.
Yeah. Look at that. Pass inside.
And knocked away by Olberding. Worthy. Rambis. Offensive rebounds are awesome right there.
Yep. 4 or 5 on that exchange. Magic holding his nose. He took a shot in the face, but with his size, he kept it alive.
Magic Johnson is 6'9". Guards are getting bigger all the time. McLaughlin played at a short 6'5".
And slow.
But he could shoot him, folks. Rainbow Jays.
I had a hard time jumping over the timeline every time I had to run across it.
Never accused of an over and back. Theus on the foul.
Well, I look at it this way. If I had it all, it wouldn't have been fair to the other guys. Now, team foul situation a factor. The Lakers with 2, Kansas City with 4, so the Lakers will shoot on the next Kansas City foul.
And McGee fouling Reggie Theus that time. There's Reggie. Comes up shy. Good move, though. Tries it again. Deflected by Kareem and almost in the basket. Magic Johnson. Finger roll.
A showtime.
And over Robo. 43-34 by 9. Magic wants, or now Cotton Fitzsimmons wants a 20-second timeout, I believe. And finally, he gets the attention of the official. And somebody looked over and told Jess Kersey they want a 20-second timeout. But Magic Johnson, as I said at the top of the show, he's not only a giver, but he can also do it as a receiver.
Eddie, I'm sure there's nothing he would rather see than a fast break situation setting up. He can either take it all the way. Look at that beautiful camera shot there by the crew. He can take it all the way or he can dish it, and he loves to make the pass.
The winner of this series would go on to meet the winner of the Dallas-Seattle series. And last night, Dallas coming from behind on a jump shot by Rolando Blackman in the final 10 seconds, beat Seattle 88-86. New York came from behind to beat Detroit 94-93 with 2 free throws in the last 9 seconds last night. They lead that series 1-0.
They came from way back on that one.
Yes, they did. They were down 12 late. Milwaukee 105, Atlanta 89. Marcus Johnson and Sidney Moncrief and Paul Mokeski the keys in that game. And they lead the series 1-0 to resume tomorrow night in Milwaukee. Rambis. And they got the break going, and the Lakers are pumped up. They want that 1-0 series edge. Best of 5 series. You don't want to lose the advantage when you have it at home.
Well, let's face it, the pressure's on the Lakers. They're expected to win this series. And every series they play in, other than perhaps the final, then it could be flip a coin.
Worthy from Magic on the outlet. Here come the Kings. Reggie Theus with Robish on the left wing. And he traveled with the ball.
Now, he traveled because Magic went after the steal, forcing one more step before the pass. Man, this looks like a football substitution. So many Kings are coming in. Look at Magic. He sees the floor so well.
When you're 6'9", you can see a lot of things. Okay, 45-34. We have 5:01 to play in the half. Cooper tried to get in the game, could not. Woodson and Drew are the Kings guards against Magic Johnson and Mike McGee. Kareem, Rambis, and James Worthy. Pretty good front line. On the lob lead, Kareem could not quite get to it. And LaSalle Thompson, second-year man from the University of Texas, is in there again, playing with 2 fouls. Larry Mishaw, he's back. He's the rookie. LaSalle Thompson, turnaround. Cotton Fitzsimmons not wanting him to take that shot. Magic looking for the trailer on defense. Give it up to Kareem. Around a Rambis screen. Mishaw playing him on a switch. On the cut to the middle, we've got a foul, and Kansas City has picked up their 15th foul here in the period.
You know, when you play the Lakers, you must be aware of how well they move off the ball. Worthy out, Cooper in, they love him. They continually move off the ball. Now, in the second period, when Jabbar's been in the ball game, he hasn't been that much of an offensive factor. And a lot of strategies are, over the years with him, hey, let him have his 40 or 45, shut everyone else down. They did that in Milwaukee a lot when we played the Boston Celtics. That's how the Celtics played us. But I think here in L.A., that's more of a problem. They've got so many people that can light you up.
When John was playing for Milwaukee, they had a couple of great series against the Boston Celtics back in the early and mid-70s. 46-34. Larry Mishaw, Eddie Johnson, LaSalle Thompson. Pump fake in the air. And Rambis, who is a journeyman that really bangs it loose. And now the Lakers, they get it and go. Under the rule changes a few years ago, you get it and go as soon as the official touches the ball. That's a variation of the international rule. And Kareem on the turn for the bank hook that time, and Mishaw with a rebound. And the Kings still trying to run. They figured this is what they have to try and do. They didn't do it the regular season. And Eddie Johnson hits it. Now they trail the game by a total of 10.
And that's exactly why they've got to run. Lakers are an excellent defensive team. If you get the ball up quickly at times, you can get people like Eddie Johnson that open jump shot.
Magic and McGee, Rambis, Kareem, and Michael Cooper back on the give and go again.
All right, now there's a great example of the situation you're in when you're the defensive man. You saw Woodson back off. Now watch Woodson. He comes back into double team Jabbar. He gets caught in between because Magic goes right to the basket. Jabbar passes so well. You've got to have weak side help. They've got to come in and help you quicker.
But what is the responsibility of the Kings defense on Magic Johnson? He is not to get the ball back once he gives it up. But according to what you said, and what you're saying is true, when you double down, that's the other part of their scheme. As soon as the Lakers put the ball down, you double down, then the weak side has to react to help.
But the problem there, Eddie, Woodson doubled down on Jabbar before he put the ball down. That's not what his coach wants. He says we want him to double when he puts it on the floor. Before he does, he can make the pass too well, and that was a fine example of it.
And the Kings trying to move the ball, and they throw the ball away and out of bounds. Turnover number 5 for Kansas City. The Lakers also have 5. They inbound and bring it up. You got caught in the switches that time, and already the Lakers are reacting to what the Kings are trying to do defensively. Trying to free up Magic to get him to go in the flow to the offensive hoop. That's Mike Cooper. We're under 3 to play in the half. Worthy, that quick step, and he comes back with a hook this time.
Now, here's the problem he creates. He's a big man that moves with the quickness of a small man. So if you put a small man on him, he can power you. You put a big man on him, he can out-quick you. He's an impossible project inside for the defense.
If you haven't already made note of his name, mark it down, remember it, because he is one of these superstars in this league for years to come. James Worthy. 50-36, Los Angeles. We'll be right back. We have a 50-36 score. The Lakers with the lead, and we'll have an interesting halftime, we think, tonight for you. Johnny Mack will talk with Cotton Fitzsimmons. Cotton's always a very interesting interview. And then we'll also have a visit with the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. So we are looking for some interesting things at halftime and find out what kind of a perspective we have on the league. It's been a great year, new attendance record this year. Jess Kersey with the ball, one of the officials working the game in front of the Kings bench. Eddie Johnson to inbound, the second-year man. Johnson is 6'7". They will have Mark Olberding at the other forward. He's 6'9".
Eddie, you know, we've talked about the experience factor in the playoffs, and I think to make that point a little bit more clear for our listeners, the Lakers players have played in a total of 450 NBA playoff games. The Kings only 104. So you see the difference there in the experience in the playoffs.
Big difference. Mark Olberding even was as blatant to come out and say, hey, we hope we can steal a game in the series. I mean, they know that they're a heavy underdog, but the Lakers, of course, want to put this thing under wraps as soon as they can, if they can, and Kansas City trying to come up with a different scheme, running more against L.A. tonight. That's Larry Drew. He's a very fine player. That's Eddie Johnson. And Kareem with a rebound. Outlet to Worthy. Looks to the middle on the break. He's got Magic trailing on the right wing. Magic Johnson. McAdoo sets up low left. He's back in the game, obviously. So Worthy and Cooper and Kareem. Magic Johnson. Olberding now playing Kareem. Is that a mismatch? And Magic right down the boulevard. And Olberding barrels in. As big and as strong as Olberding is, John, I'm surprised that he's not a better rebounder numbers-wise.
Yeah, well, he can't get up in the air that much, but he plays a horizontal game more than a vertical game, and sometimes that takes him away from it, as Eddie Johnson's certainly getting on the board a lot more tonight against the Lakers than on the year.
He's been half their offense. They've got 40. He's got 18.
Yeah.
James Worthy. The Lakers look very active. With the exception of the absence of Jamal Wilkes and Byron Scott, we're seeing some frisky Lakers in there tonight. And that is good. And the foul call on the double-up, that's called on Mike Woodson. Big disadvantage. They caught LaSalle Thompson twice now, switched off of Kareem, and they're getting mismatch situations all over the place.
Well, in that situation, Thompson tried to keep Kareem coming to the hook. Now this is how Kareem has continued to improve over the years. They cut the skyhook off, and this is how impossible it is for the defensive player. You stop him from coming to the middle, then he makes the quick reverse baseline. What are you going to do? And if no one's there to give help, it's hopeless.
He's smart enough to have added different ingredients to his game.
Sure.
And he's added a couple this year. He's had perhaps his best year in the last 5. And Worthy on the turnaround that time. Johnson posting up, and Worthy on the foul. No, they call it on Magic Johnson, pardon me.
Well, they doubled down on Eddie Johnson. You know, he's a good enough offensive player you have to give help on. Eddie, coming back to Kareem, I want to make one point. When he came into the league in Milwaukee, you know, he didn't have a jump shot, he had the hook shot. Over the years, he's worked on that, and he's put into his game the jump shot and every other facet to the ball game. So when you cut one thing off, the hook, he can reverse on you and go the other way.
John, one interesting note here as we look at a score, Phoenix 31, Portland 28.
Yeah.
And we'll repeat again that Philadelphia was beaten 116-101 by New Jersey earlier tonight. One other score we did not give you, Utah beat Denver last night 122-121, and Utah leads that series 1-0. Good year for Utah. They won the Midwest Division. I want to add something here with McAdoo, Cooper, Worthy, Kareem, Magic Johnson in there. On the cut, Kareem looks for the give and go. There's your skyhook.
Now, you saw Larry Drew that time. He came down for the double team when Jabbar put it on the floor, but it was still too late because he had to come from so far out. The Lakers spread the floor nicely.
55-42. Larry Drew. And let's add what I was going to say right now. James Worthy had a corneal abrasion the last couple of games of the regular season. In fact, it happened last week. He was supposed to play tonight with goggles a la Kareem to protect it. He tried them today, evidently didn't like it. Magic Johnson just hit that little one-hander. 27 seconds in the half, Magic with 11, and the Lakers in command by 13.
You know, you have to get used to those goggles. I had to play with them one season, if you'll recall, Eddie. I had an eye injury also. Kareem has gotten used to them, but it's something that you don't like to do. As a matter of fact, I had some people yell at me when I went around the league. I wasn't good enough to wear them, and Kareem wore them. I have to agree with them.
They put the hurt on you, don't they?
Yeah.
Down to the final 7 seconds. Lakers want to get a shot away. Magic to the king. It won't go. And that's the end of the first half. Kansas City game, but still a little bit of distance between themselves and the team that won the world's title a couple years ago. It's the Lakers 57, Kansas City 44.
Has had against the Lakers scoring-wise, but there's the scoring for Kansas City. Unfortunately for Kansas City, Eddie Johnson not getting a lot of assistance on the scoreboard. Now at the other end, you'll see Kareem as the ball goes inside to him. Worthy cuts through. He makes the fake, and here's the impossible situation defensively. Jabbar with 13 points in that first half. But James Worthy inside scored 10 points in the first half, and we told you many times the problem he creates for the defense. And Magic Johnson off the break scoring part of his 11 points and 6 assists in the first half for Magic.
Kurt Rambis also adding 6 as he jammed it in. Lakers scoring, Kareem 13, Magic 11, Worthy 10, McGee 7, 6 for Rambis and 4 for Kupchak. And we are underway in the third period. They have Mark Olberding, Eddie Johnson, LaSalle Thompson, Larry Drew, and Reggie Theus for Kansas City. McGee with a steal, runs right into the official. That's part of the play. That can happen. That's a legal play. The official can't get out of the way of everything, and Drew turning around ran right into Hugh Hollins. And a technical foul has been charged to Cotton Fitzsimmons, because I'm sure he told Hugh Hollins to get off the floor, hits him with another one, and Cotton Fitzsimmons has been just thrown out of the game.
Wow. Cotton usually much more under control than that. Normally you won't see him go this early in a situation like that, if at all, because he is a coach that normally keeps his calm, but apparently he felt the official should be out of the way. Now, I don't know the positioning of the officials and where they're supposed to be. I'm sure Hugh Hollins was where he was supposed to be. He is considered part of the floor. If the ball or a player hits him, that's part of the game.
59-44. I have seen that happen before. In fact, I saw it happen right here in Los Angeles in a championship series, and it cost a team a game, but you can't ask the official to get the heck out of here. And Mike Cooper now has just gone to the line for the first technical, and he'll get another one. But Cotton is complaining about something that might have been a part of the play that the officials did not catch, and we will have an opportunity to see. As Cooper makes both, it's 61-44. John, pick it up.
Now watch, Larry Drew runs right into the official. That's what he's upset about. But you could see Hugh Hollins trying to position himself. If he moved one way or the other, he didn't really know where Drew was going. And the players have to be aware in most cases of running around the officials. Fortunately, it's not a problem that often.
Very rarely is it a problem, and every now and then it crops up, and It does create a little bit of a furor, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Eddie, I played in a game here against the Lakers in the playoff when a ball on a break situation hit an official, stayed in bounds, and it was a key play for the Lakers in that game.
That was the series I was talking about. The official was Manny Sokol.
That's right. And as I recall, I think Jerry West picked the ball up and took it in.
That is Frank
that's
Hamlin.
The rule.
He's the assistant coach, and he will run the club from now on.
Well, now's his great opportunity. Bring him back, right?
Maybe. 61-44. Eddie Johnson to Drew, to Reggie Theus, to Olberding. They're just trying to move it around and soften up that inside. And knocked away by the Lakers, and they can't hang on out of bounds. It'll come back now to Kansas City, and they're trailing big. There's Pat Riley. He wants to take that next step. Dallas or Seattle. And a hole. And it will be on number 40 on Mike McGee. Mike McGee has 2.
Not many fouls taken in that, or foul shots taken in that first half. Look at the foul here. As you see McGee leaning into the seam area, which is the open area, to try to cut that down on Theus. And a real factor here, Theus and Drew have been contained by the Laker defense.
Theus tried to get the jump pass back, and McGee doubling on the ball that time, called for another foul. But Theus almost made a big mistake, John. He got a break because he started to go up in the air with the ball. McGee knocked the ball away. There was no one he could really pass the ball to. He might have just turned it over. They got it back.
You know, and a good time to double up Theus, Eddie, is when he does that spin, that reverse. Now, he's very good at it. He can spin quickly on you before you can double up, but if you can, that's the time to catch him.
Reggie Theus, nice move. Former UNLV star. And Magic lost the ball off the foot on the dribble, and Theus diving for the ball. Rambis right there.
Super
good effort by Reggie Theus. He's a local product. Magic Johnson, and foul. And not because of any lack of hustle on the part of the Kings and Reggie Theus, but Rambis also with good hustle. You don't want to deny his effort here.
Well, you'll see people that will go on the floor after the ball, and I would think that you certainly would. Rambis, not a guy you want to collide with. Theus did. Because Rambis came up with it, look what he set up. Magic in the floor, takes it to the hoop.
64-46, Lakers. They want to put this baby under glass as soon as possible. Drew with a reverse dribble and tricky dribbles between the legs twice. Rambis on the step-up switch. Inside they try and go to Olberding. Magic comes over. Remember, he's got a bad finger. He doesn't want to hurt it again. Magic fingertip pass to McGee, and foul on the play by LaSalle Thompson. Or is it Eddie Johnson? Eddie Johnson.
Okay, now Magic, look at the quick pass here. He is really the guy, Magic, that prevented the basket at the other end by Kansas City. He followed his man through. He continually talks on defense. And then when Olberding cut through and got away from his man, it was Magic there to reject it.
Interesting to note that while both these teams are running with furor tonight, that neither team has really committed a lot of turnovers. 6 on each side.
That's right.
65-46. Lakers by 19. We have 10 minutes to play in the third period. They're going to really put an exclamation point on this if it continues. Eddie Johnson. Johnson with 22.
Excellent post up, and Eddie's the guy they want to go to. No weak side help because they kept them up high away from the ball.
Kansas City in the Midwest Division. Lakers won the Pacific Division with a record of 54-28. Larry Drew. Little man can move.
That's what he's got to do for his club, Eddie, and something the Lakers are doing. They're going to Drew. They're trying to keep the ball away from him, and if he gets the ball, they're trying to contain him so that he won't do that. He's very effective when he does do that.
65-50. Los Angeles, they go down to the King. Set some more milestones this year. We had a couple of them on USA. Tonight he broke Chamberlain's field goal record and his scoring record. Boston and Las Vegas. Good if it goes, it does, and he'll go to the line.
Now that's an example of how the defense for Kansas City got their offense going. And Reggie Theus timed the double team the way he was supposed to, set up by his coach. When the Jabbar put the ball on the floor, Theus doubled up, and then they resulted in the fast break at the other end and Olberding for 2.
And the foul goes to Michael Cooper. Mark Olberding, 9-year man. Was in Chicago last year. He was involved in the deal where they ended up with Enos Watley. This year, Watley was a pick that Kansas City had. He ends up in Chicago. Had an ankle problem a couple of years ago. Played 7 years in San Antonio. 1 year as a college player. He was a Big Ten freshman of the year and then bailed out. LaSalle Thompson. LaSalle Thompson with his 4th. And that is something that we all knew coming in. It would be a tough matchup for Thompson against Kareem.
Now remember, LaSalle Thompson is 6'10", and yet he looks like a forward against Jabbar out there. Thompson is going to have to go out. Robish back in for Kansas City.
Olberding on the rebound. Reggie Theus. Reggie will give up a little defensively. He really makes things happen offensively. That is Larry Drew. He got a screen that time from Olberding. And Drew with 8. And the Lakers will take a time. Their big lead is now dwindled from 19 to 10. It's LA 65, Kansas City 55. We're at Inglewood, California, the Fabulous Forum, and we're heading back after this. We have 8:41 to play in the third. The Lakers with a 10-point lead. And don't you just love coming out here to the Fabulous Forum?
A lot of activity when you come into this place. Just jumping up, jumping down.
Pat Riley, youthful coach. What a job he has done. Jack Nicholson is in attendance tonight. In fact, they even gave Jack Nicholson a Laker jersey with the number 10 on it. Norm Nixon was his favorite player. Norm, of course, wore number 10 and is now with San Diego. And they put Nicholson's name on the back of the Laker jersey. Playoff score, tied up. Phoenix and Portland. Most people figured Portland would advance through that series. Phoenix had a 41-41 season, and Portland was 48-34, second in the Pacific. On the miss by Magic. Theus, they got a 3-on-3. Cooper back to cover. Olberding, blocked by Cooper. Magic to Kareem.
Look back and say, take this. Defense made it happen. Olberding out on the break. Kansas City running more. They're getting a little bit more of the game going they would like. Their shooting percentage improving some, Eddie, but when you look at the halftime stats, just for a moment again, Kansas City was shooting 44%. That's what they shot on the year against the Lakers. The Lakers at 53. That's a big margin. They have to cut it down.
Pick and roll missed by Kansas City. 2-on-1 fly. They miss it.
What's the error there? You got to go to the glass.
You do.
No matter how good you are, unless you're going to jam it, use the backboard.
67-55. Lakers by 12. Was 19. Show, no go. Back to Theus. And Rambis. Rambis, the unsung hero on this team. Doesn't get a lot of pub, but he is right there. Magic, soft. And looking for the falling leaf to lay in there, but it wouldn't. Is Larry Drew in the middle. Changes hands and lays it in. There is an athlete. He changed hands, made a couple of dipsy-doos in the air, and still laid it up. Well, you talk about athleticism.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly challenging a 5'8" guy either on that play, and that's when Kansas City's better. You get Theus, you get Drew out on the break. That takes advantage of their quickness.
Three-point attempt was close. Was that a three-point attempt? I couldn't see the line. No, he was on the line. Drew!
Oh, yeah.
And Cooper again. Magic is on the floor, but he's all right. To McGee. Wow!
Well, Michael Cooper is going to have Mark Olberding looking over his shoulder because he blocked 2 straight. Cooper, defensive player in the NBA, first team.
Frank Hamlin will draw his team to the side. Kansas City wants a time. They trail by 12. It's 69-57 Los Angeles. We'll pause for a word from your local cable system. It's 69-57 Los Angeles. They lead the board battle 28-22. In this period, the Lakers are 4 for 5 at the line. Kansas City only 1 for 1. What does that tell you?
I don't know what.
Means that somebody's going to the hoop, right?
Eddie, you know, I've referred to the all-defensive team a number of times as selected by the coaches. And let me give you those teams. Bobby Jones, Michael Cooper, Tree Rollins, Sidney Moncrief, Maurice Cheeks, first team. Second team, Larry Bird, Danny Roundfield, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Dennis Johnson, T.R. Dunn.
Some real good ones on that club.
Yeah, I made that.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Well, okay. Well, you know, that counts for something.
Yep, I hit a grand slam in my dreams, too, in Yankee Stadium.
Now, that's a little too much.
Kareem with a rebound. You're right. Same year I won the Masters. Inside they go. Robish on the missed shot. Theus out ahead. Keeps control of it. Out ahead. Theus loves this kind of game. The only thing is his team's trailing by 12. Magic 3-on-2. McGee.
Eddie, Michael Cooper has had 2 big blocks, and they're a steal on the break.
John, you're going to see something here, and I say this only because I've seen LA play a lot of games this year. If they get into a commanding lead, they have a real sense of showmanship. And they'll go from some of their set stuff, and they'll really start to put on some histrionics. If you're really going to be entertained.
Let the horses go, huh?
Right, if they get up big. Theus. Reggie from 3. He had to do that. The 24-second clock sounded. You may have heard it in the background. Normally, he probably wouldn't take that kind of a shot that far behind the three-point line.
I hope not.
Here's
That's
Mike
a
Woodson.
launch job, man.
He needed a rocket launcher. You're right. Theus out. He's tired. Woodson is in. Mike Woodson had a disc problem when he was in college his senior year. Came back and helped win the NIT for Indiana. Olberding. Boy, he's a big, strong guy. Mark Olberding.
Well, that's one way Kansas City can get an inside game going, because basically they do not have one. If they can get it off the offensive glass, Olberding could, of course, provide that, as James Worthy said. Yeah, he is back in, not set to come back in. McGee goes out.
And the last Laker foul by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has 2, they have 4. Kansas City with 3 in the period. We have 5.5 to play here in the third. There's Mark Olberding. Incidentally, in the event you may be wondering, the team with the best home record in the NBA this year, Portland and Boston, 33-8. The Lakers at home, not bad, but not the best, 28-13, a long way from the top 5. On the road, however, Boston number 1, 29-12. Los Angeles number 2, 26-15. So the Lakers have been a formidable team on the road. In addition to having been a great team at home in past years, not so much this year. Kareem. He has 17 markers in this one. 73-59. The King playing his best year in the last several. Woodson isolated on Magic. Woodson 6'5", Magic 6'9". Now Drew switched up on by Rambis. Mismatch inside. Kings couldn't find it. They settle for the outside shot. Worthy trailing Magic. Their big men handle the ball as well as their little men.
Sure they do. And of course, when your big men can lead the break, whether it's Magic or a Worthy, you know, that's so effective for you. And many clubs have forwards that can do it. Of course, Magic, he's the mold setter in that regard.
He is. Led the league in assists, among the leaders in steals, number 5. Into Kareem, cleaned and pressed. Woodson blocked inside, tries to get it back.
Wow.
Boy, the Lakers are awesome defensively.
Wow. You know, one of the things that really is spectacular about the NBA today is the fact that there are so many great offensive players that are also good to outstanding defensive players.
They charge a turnover to the Kings. That's their 11th of the game. Cooper, Worthy, Rambis, Kareem, Cooper. What do we have? Whistle call, Hugh Hollins. And a bumping foul inside. And that'll be on Dave Robich. Cotton Fitzsimmons ejected. 2 quick technicals. Protesting a play in which Larry Drew ran into the official Hugh Hollins and couldn't catch up with the Laker on a break. Cotton said some things he shouldn't have, and that was it. Good night, Irene. 75-59, LA.
Good night, Cotton.
Kareem. How sweet it is, right in the middle of the basket.
Not a lot you can do on that. You know, over the years, 15 years, people have tried everything. Very seldom do you stop him.
He's done everything, 6 MVPs. MVP in an all-star game in a playoff. He's the second leading all-time scorer in playoff history, 28-8. Block shot, Kareem. Picked up by Cooper, out ahead to Worthy. Little cat and mouse with Johnson knocking it away. Good defense by Eddie Johnson. Was not intimidated. And the Lakers spread the floor. Inside, Rambis with Magic. Oh, my.
Look at him.
Are they good or what?
Oh, I tell you, he sees the court, makes the play, and that's a wonderful example of what he can do.
From a 10 to a 20-point lead, just like that. 20-second timeout. 1 per team per half. Kansas City calls one right here. We have 3:19 in the third, 79-59.
And look at this pass. Magic Johnson is electric, and he will electrify his ball club. He fires them up. He talks on the court, and he supports that chatter with this type of action. Look, wide open. Kansas City defense just not alert. You don't leave a man open right under the hoop.
Lakers are showing that they want to be there when that final series rolls around. Late May, early June. Magic 16 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Eddie Johnson. Woodson. John, as an aside, they talk about Magic Johnson and the triple doubles, and he does a great job with it. But a little trivia, we talked about it before. How about one guy, the big donut?
Oscar Robertson averaged triple doubles for an entire season. You know, I told Magic that about 2 years ago. Look at him outside. I said, Magic, do you realize that Oscar averaged? And he didn't know it at that point. He says, man, that is unbelievable. He loved it. He smiled, you know.
His eyes got bigger than Oscar's, if you can believe that.
He really is delightful.
Yeah, Magic Johnson is really a terrific guy. He really is. Kurt Ram is out. In comes McAdoo. And the depth we talked about, they still are playing without Jamal Wilkes or Byron Scott, their fine young rookie. On the foul, that was Cooper, his third. Lakers over the limit. At the line will go Larry Drew. Hard to tell how good this Laker team can be. And we still haven't seen Swan Nader, who's not a bad backup either. He's got a nice soft hook, and he can bang the board.
Let's take a vote and see who wants to see Swin. Raise your hands. Swin's a good friend. He's a delightful guy, boy.
Two hands,
he's
just
fun.
one up over here, right?
Yeah, he has a sense of humor that's unique. And, you know,
Procrastinator. He's going to name his children. Procrastinator. What do we have here?
Exterminator.
Riley talking. Was there a line violation? Double lane violation. That means a jump ball. Double lane violation.
Well, now, you know, there's still plenty of time in this ball game, even though the Kings are down by 19 with 2:34 to play in the third. They had it going pretty good earlier in this period. Even though you get into a running game with the Lakers, you've got to be careful because the turnovers can turn it over quickly the other way. Jabbar and Robish facing the wrong way, had to turn him around.
Knocked loose, Magic Johnson. Oh, my. He had Worthy. He was looking Worthy all the while, and he gave it up on a no-look to McAdoo.
Well, you know, it's like Oscar. It's like all the great passes. He's got those eyes on the side of your head also, man, and that one that moves around in the middle.
Right, that Cyclops.
Cooper again.
How about the defense, though? And Magic and the Lakers starting to put a little showtime into the works. McAdoo still has a pretty good step there, doesn't he? Good first step for the three-time scoring champion.
It's like one of those goose steps, huh?
Yes, sir. Here's Rahj'iladelphia back in. Calling the mayor old Tom at the top of the telecast. They loved him in Chicago, and he was a hit on the north side, I can tell you that.
They like him out here.
McAdoo.
Kansas City, they have a number of players that can certainly put the ball in the basket, but the Lakers defense makes it tough, and if you turn the ball over against the Lakers, you know what's going to happen.
85-62, 23-point lead, biggest in the ball game. 2 minutes in the third. Rahj'iladelphia inside of Eddie Johnson. Post up over Worthy. Oh, is that tough? In and out. Hoop just didn't want it. Kareem wants to show it, but then he gives it short now. Congratulations while we have the opportunity to Adrian Dantley, the NBA scoring champ this year. 30.6 points per game and a brilliant year. Worthy off the bench, 14 and a half a game. And a superstar of the future. He's got 12. Mitch Kupchak's going to get a call. You know, on the switch, McAdoo, and they jump switch back now. Woodson on the miss. Johnson missed the jam.
Sorry to jump in on you there as we see them run a baseline screen for Woodson. Look at the Lakers run. I realize we're spending a lot of time talking about the Lakers, but they're playing so well. There's so much to say about this ball club, and they should be the club, obviously, that will be in the finals of the championship. But many stranger things have happened, obviously.
James Worthy on the foul. The Lakers have a unit that they call the Hounds, but some of the fellas on the first unit are playing more like Hounds than the guys on the second unit. That Hound unit is primarily their second team. They've got some ingredients, some fragments of it on the floor. McGee is part of the Hound unit. James Worthy is the part of the Hound group, and McAdoo, and they've got Cooper. He'll come in and play with Hound. Well, I guess they have a lot of Hounds out there right now. As Woodson at the line for the Kings tonight, 11 for 14 at the free throw line. For the Lakers, 13 of 18.
You know, when you talk about good defensive players and all defensive teams, you look at these guys, they're all capable of playing excellent team defense, cutting down the seams, the passing lanes, and what have you, as well as good individual defense. They can get on a guy and clamp him.
Lakers' big lead was 25. It's 23 now. McAdoo, they reverse it, they go into the low box, in and out. such good offensive players and so versatile they can play more than one position. So Riley has a great deal of flexibility in what he can do with his people. And there are several teams like that. Milwaukee, one that comes to mind. Woodson block McAdoo. Keep it in play. Look at this. Loop it up to McGee. There he is going to the hole. Drop lead feed. James Worthy. Boy, are they something.
Yeah. They are really in the rhythm. They are in the rhythm of both ends of this floor. They can play the D. They're blocking shots, and they go so quickly. They know there's going to be 2-3 guys out on the break.
89-64. Rahj'iladelphia. And now they're going into a slowdown game, going to the half-court game. They've tried to run. It hasn't worked, but they're doing it because they have a few seconds remaining here in the third period. Here's the cut. Woodson. Good move. Got himself free. 3 seconds. Will they launch one? Cooper. Good if it goes. It did not. 89-64. The Los Angeles Lakers have really cranked it up, outscoring Kansas City 32-20 in the third, and now lead 89-64. We played 3. We will return to the fabulous forum after this. Friday night, USA Sports coverage of the NHL playoffs continues when we bring you the 6th game coverage of the series between Quebec and Montreal. Face-off schedules for 7:30 Eastern Time. NHL Stanley Cup hockey on the network of the NHL USA. We're in the 4th, and the Lakers in command, 89-64. They've really shown some defense tonight. Kupchak double up that time, and then trying to get the ball inside, deflected by the Kings as he attempted to hit McGee, flashing back door on the left baseline. Cooper, Kupchak, Worthy, McGee, and McAdoo for LA. Billy Knight starting the 4th period. Mike Woodson, LaSalle Thompson, Don Boosie, and Ed Neely are in there now for Kansas City. Frank Hamlin coaching the Kings. Cotton Fitzsimmons ejected in the 3rd. McAdoo. When he can square up, John, he's at his best.
Yeah, he can also shoot that shot in the face of big guys, little guys, all kinds of guys. He, of course, played center for a number of years, scored a lot of points at that position over bigger people.
He once had 29 rebounds in a game, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I believe it.
3 consecutive scoring titles. Bob McAdoo back in the 70s when he was with Buffalo. Billy Knight. Boosie. That's a 2-pointer. Boosie was a great 3-point shooter, but he's not had a lot of playing time. Been around a while, 12-year man.
And if you're not getting playing time, your 3-point range is definitely going to be affected.
I don't know. You could go out there and hit a few, I think.
Yeah, If I had no one within 20 feet of me. But I could do it then.
Not even if I got up there and put a hand up?
Well, that's what I mean. No one within 20 feet of me. Yeah, that's what I said.
91-64. We got a hold inside. Hugh Hollins and Jess Kersey working this one. Tommy Nunez is the alternate official on the other side. Well, officials have done a pretty good job here tonight. They usually do.
Well, Cotton wouldn't agree with that. Well, that's why he went bye-bye. You're right.
That's a difficult play because, as we said before, you're always in play. The floor is entirely in play, and the official can't always get out of the way.
Eddie, let's talk about Kansas City just for a moment. With 10:55 to play, they're down big. But what must they do? Well, when you're down, the only way you can try to get back in it is with defense. You've got to shut the other team down and try to force them into some missed shots, and then maybe you can go the other way and perhaps get 3-point opportunities, as LaSalle Thompson might in this situation. You'll see him get the ball inside as the double up. Kupchak leaves Thompson to come up on the penetration. McAdoo comes over, but it's not enough.
LaSalle Thompson has been a non-factor offensively tonight. And of course, that was a little bit of the concern of Kansas City and how well he would do against Kareem. You have such a concern defensively as how you play up against Kareem. You don't give much or have much left. He has 6 points in the game. Intended for Worthy. 91-67. Down to Kupchak. He's 6'10", back to Worthy. Look at that quick step to the baseline. Oh my, and on the reverse, he almost did it. And Kupchak on the follow. Quite a medical marvel. They said he'd never play again, and he is. Mitch Kupchak. They were just hoping to get him in semi-good condition and then go with him again next year. But he's really contributing. That's a 3-pointer by Boosie. That's the fellow we were talking about.
Yeah, give him time to loosen up and oil those arms down a little bit, a little perspiration, and then he can shoot those long ones.
He led the NBA in 3-point shots in 1982. Had 73 3-point field goals. 1982, I should say.
You know, That ball will come back to LA. It went out of bounds at the end. Point I want to make about three-point shots. Boosie has been good at it. Mike Dunleavy is excellent at it. Chris Ford, when he played for Boston. Interesting thing about all those guys, they all shoot set shots from there. It's very effective. You get it off quickly. You have good range and good control.
Mitch Kupchak, and really motoring on a bad leg, showing lots of good hustle. He said all he wanted to do was to come back and be able to contribute. He's doing that.
Yes, he is. He has a tremendous brace on there. He kind of limps a little bit on that leg, drags it a little bit, but he seems to be effective enough.
Here comes Boosie. Ed Neely on the inbound, 8th round draft choice. Mike Woodson, nice player right there. Pull up.
He really is a good offensive player as well as a defensive player, but he's capable of doing just that, getting the shot in a one-on-one.
And Woodson now with 10 points in the game, and we've got a timeout called by Los Angeles. Timeout with 9:34 to play in this one. It's the Lakers 93 and Kansas City 72. We'll pause for a word from your local cable systems. This place is exciting.
Who is he?
There he comes. We are back. Magic Johnson, Larry Spriggs, Mitch Kupchak, Bob McAdoo, and Mike McGee for the Lakers. McAdoo. Kupchak going high to pull it down, but a foul called on the play. For the Kings, it's Woodson, Ed Neely, Billy Knight, LaSalle Thompson. Billy Knight gets the foul and Don Boosie. In that third period, Kansas City 30%, the Lakers 57%.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better for Kansas City throughout the game, and that's defense that causes that.
Lakers out rebounding the 14-10 in the game. LA 38, Kansas City 27 on the boards. Come back and elaborate on a statistic or something we alluded to at the top of the telecast, and that is Kansas City in the last 10 years has not won a game here. They've lost 23 straight games going back to October 20th, 1974. LaSalle Thompson. The last time a Kansas City or a Kings team won a game here, Pat Riley was the leading scorer for the Lakers, if you can believe that one.
Come on, he never led the Lakers in scoring.
That's right. As a matter of fact, some of the Kings were told that, and they thought that Riley was, they never remember him as a player. They remember him as an ex-broadcaster.
You know, Eddie, when we played in San Diego, I only played there the first year of that ball club. That was Riley's rookie year. We mentioned that briefly, but whenever they would bring in a new player, and that year they would bring in a lot of new players, they would have to play Riley one-on-one, and we figured if he lived through that, he had a chance to make the team.
He was tough. Last foul was on Kupchak. He's got 2, Lakers with 3. Magic. Down to McAdoo. Watch that solo action. 1-1 on Billy Knight. Has him hanging on a hip, and he unlaunches the shot, or launches the shot. Neely.
He unlaunched it.
Yeah, he unlaunched it.
Is that like leaving your feet?
No, don't do that. You're in trouble.
Man, you leave those babies on the floor, you don't jump high.
That's one you hear a lot. Boosie, he steps inside the three-point line and hit it.
Yep.
Well, they're leaving him open. They're doubling on the ball, and they're leaving the man open. And Kansas City has tried desperately to reverse the ball tonight. But the Lakers have scrambled to the open man. They've covered that open spot well. Magic Johnson.
Yeah, and defense has been a problem for Kansas City all season long. They're a young club in many respects, and they're a club that's still learning the game. Like Cotton Fitzsimmons feels that with his ball club. And defense has been a factor, not in their favor.
Billy Knight, he's been a good scorer. As a rookie, he averaged 26-6. Former Pacer captain, all-star in 77 when the game was played in Milwaukee. Originally a number 2 pick from Los Angeles. And Swen Nader unravels his warm-ups in a crowd giving him a nice little ovation as he gets set to come in. So McAdoo will go out, Swen Nader will come in. He also is a popular guy here. McAdoo goes out.
He goes back
Thompson
to college days here also.
UCLA. Back up to Bill Walton. Former number 1 draft choice in Milwaukee. And interesting, he never played as a collegiate, as a starter, and ended up being a number 1 pick.
You know,
Larry Spriggs gets the foul.
When he played for the Milwaukee Bucks, he still has, from that time, the single game rebound record.
How many?
You had to ask. I think 33.
I think it was 32.
Well, I'm close.
97-77. LaSalle Thompson. Little turnaround on the post-up. Nader at one time was the number 2 rebounder in the league a few years ago. And if you take his rebound, stretch him out over a 48-minute projection, he'd average around 20 boards a game. He can really bang them. Magic down to Kupchak. Oh, good square up with a left hand. Nice move by Mitch. Swin had it, lost it. Kupchak with a dive and an effort to save. And he's all right. Boys, he is really showing me something tonight. Three-pointer, Boosie.
Great time to take it. Yeah. Momentum going up the floor toward the basket. Now the Lakers want a 20-second timeout. You've got the defense backpedaling. That's a good time to take the three-pointer.
Well, the 25-point lead is now down to 15. 97. No, that's not right, is it? Yeah, that's right.
97-82. Yeah. They're within striking distance with a little time if they can continue to do what they're doing.
Mitch Kupchak has impressed everybody here with his hustle tonight. Watch him on this play.
This is how he's played all throughout his career, and when you know how to play one way, you're going to keep it up.
He tucked the shoulder in time to prevent a serious injury, and Boosie at the other end. Look at how he launches.
Now look, the defense have been backpedaling. They have to come back out at him. He has momentum going toward the basket. Great time to take it.
That time he took a jump shot, John. We were talking about the set shot before.
Yeah, that's because he was running toward the basket. He'll leave the floor just a little bit more than like a Dunleavy will, who shoots a straight set, but it's close to one.
Nonetheless, they have to be quick with it. Give and go. Magic from Nader. Kupchak coming from the other side. Rejected by LaSalle Thompson. Spriggs, very strong defensive player. Nader taps it loose into the hands of Mike Woodson, and a Spriggs foul in the backcourt. This is a young guy with a good future, according to Pat Riley. Very strong, maybe their best defensive player, says Pat.
Oh, that's saying a lot.
Worthy comes back, and Mark Olberding also will return. So Cooper is also coming on. Spriggs will go out.
Well, Riley taking no chances. It's hard for Spriggs. He just came into the ball game. He kind of looks down at the floor. But Riley says, hey, this is playoff. This is serious. I'm not going to take any chances.
Spriggs was a 4th-round draft choice from Howard University. Mike McGee also out. So you've got Nader 1 on the left. You've got Kupchak number 1 on the right. Woodson at the line. Kings for the night. 15 of 19. LaSalle Thompson. Magic Johnson, Michael Cooper, as they pump for position, and Nader and Thompson. 2 front-end loaders just banging on the left side of the lane. 97-84. Magic. $99-84 Magic with 22. How many assists and rebounds he has? We'll have to check that out. Boosie over to Woodson. And they're high-fiving in Lansing, Michigan right now. Magic's having a night. Kupchak. He's saying, Riley, I'm ready. Put me in anytime. Oh, he changes direction. Look at that.
Yeah, that's us.
Magic telling me he does it all.
Yeah, he made plays. Says, yeah, that's us. Okay. But isn't it amazing with his size and quickness how often he changed direction on a dime in that situation, not to create the charge?
That's what amazes me. It really does.
Yeah.
He changes direction and
he doesn't get a charge call on him that much.
He doesn't turn it over either.
Yeah.
Reggie Theus, Mark Olberding, Don Boosie. Boose with a good scoop shot coming to the middle.
Still has it. Smart player.
Boy, he was nice when he played at Indiana and Phoenix earlier in his career. He won the, in fact, he was on the all-defensive team.
Yeah, he was. Quite effective. You know, as he's gotten older, he seems to shoot better with more range than he did when he was younger.
He led the NBA in assists and steals in '77, made the All-Star team.
Pretty good ABA player.
He was a good ABA player. Worthy. You see his elevation that time, John, and leaning in toward the basket.
Yeah, you know, he shoots over the defensive player. He kind of reaches over their head and shoots the ball back over their head, which means it's more difficult to block, and he gets up so high you can't get to it.
Eddie Johnson, backdoor. Lakers knock it away again. Worthy. The Lakers come down 3-on-3. Now 4-on-3. Magic swings. Worthy inside to Cooper. Oh, they are something.
Boy, he set that up nicely. He made that step like he was going to take it right to the hoop, and instead made the play.
We have 4:56 to play in this one. The Lakers 103 and Kansas City 86. I think we'll take a break right here. We'll pause on USA for this word from your local cable system. Dancing Barry. Back in 71, when John McLaughlin played with the world champion Milwaukee Bucks, they had a fella called Dancing Harry in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Well, this is LA's 84 version, Dancing Barry.
Updated.
The crowd loves it. Magic Johnson, 22 points, 11 assists for the #1 assist maker in the league and 7 rebounds. And Phoenix leading Portland 87-84. Ooh, boy, John McLeod with something in mind for Jack Ramsey. 103-86. We're under 5 to play in the fourth.
Yeah, I think Portland is obviously favored by many to come to the finals of the West against the Lakers.
Eddie Johnson made a pretty nice-looking pass that time of Mark Olberding. And Michael Cooper stepping over the crowd. He looked like a rock skipping across a pond, a flat rock skipping across a pond, didn't he?
Well, this is one of the reasons they love him here, and you'd love him any place he plays. He goes after it. He forgets to throw the ball back in. He carries it out with him, saying, hey, I'm at the defensive end of the floor. I'm not going to throw it back in for an easy deuce.
And Olberding has hurt his hand. Olberding being tended to. Billy Jones, the trainer for Kansas City, and a fine human being, over there tending to Olberding, and he may have hurt his wrist. And we have a 20-second time. They don't have any left. They don't have any left, John. They can't take a 20-second timeout.
Have to take a full.
Must take it. Must take it. They've taken both 20-second timeouts each half. And we'll remind you while we have this opportunity that the NBA playoff coverage continues on USA tomorrow night when we come to you live from the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It'll be the Knicks in Detroit. Game time is 8. The Knicks and the Pistons tomorrow night right here on US of A. And I'll tell you that Chuck Daly in Detroit will have something in mind for Hubie Brown and the New York Knicks. They came back from 12 down last night and beat Detroit in the final seconds on 2 free throws. Rory Sparrow was the man, and tomorrow night they're going to reach down into the hat in Detroit, come up with something, and see what the Pistons can do to even the series.
That series will be a very, very interesting series. It's going to be physical. Both those clubs really going at one another. Well, it's LA's at its best.
I'm telling you.
The Forum is cooking.
This is a fabulous showplace. If you
It's
ever
called
get a
the
chance,
Fabulous Forum.
Yeah.
You know, that was real good. You know, you
Wow.
picked up on that.
I like it. If you ever get a chance to come out here and see a ball game here, you got to do it. I mean, they do it all here. They put on quite a show. It's an entertainment spectacular. And these are the Laker girls. Let's watch and listen. A very popular part of what goes on here in Los Angeles, the Laker girls. We'll tell you again, if you joined us late, that Philadelphia, in their first game against New Jersey at Philadelphia, 116-101 New Jersey. 3-pointer by Eddie Johnson. Good. And Eddie Johnson now with 25.
Yeah, but he's only had 5 in this second half.
103-89. Jack Nicholson is still here. He loves the Lakers. Magic. Stand up and shout at Lansing, Michigan.
You know,
Magic
that's something he spent more time on, and he's talked about his outside shot and how he feels, you know, he's been able to take it, and he wants to prove to people that it's consistent.
He's got 24. Magic and the Lakers, they are in sync tonight. LaSalle, transcontinental, 3-pointer by Woodson. And Swen Nader. He tried to pull an Eddie Feiner there and shovel that past the king in his court.
Yeah, a little fake job, huh?
Kind of whip that baby underhand like Eddie Feiner of the king in his court.
Well, you got to blindfold him. Blindfold Swen and let him throw it out. Huh?
Feiner is great. 105-89.
Whoa.
Bingo.
Double
Magic.
screen high. He could go right around Kupchak, left around Nader. He went right around Kupchak and got the deuce.
He's having fun.
Ooh,
that
Reggie.
time, Reggie.
He has some quickness also.
Yeah, he exposed the ball to the crowd, still scooped it up.
There's a guy 6'7" with great quickness. Look at how tall these guys are and yet how quick they are.
Magic again. He's got a hot hand. He wants to stay with it. We saw him in a game that we had on USA against Milwaukee, John, where he got hot in the second half.
Yes.
Scoreless in the first half and put everyone to sleep in the second half.
That's right.
He didn't miss a shot. He was 9 for 9, I believe.
And most of those outside. Neely, by the way, this time on the inside, using his body and his strength. But it's probably unimportant to the cause. It's 107-93, 3:18 to play.
James Worthy in his first playoff game. He missed all of last year with that leg fracture. He's got a couple of screws in that leg that eventually will come out. He had a couple of screws in his ankle also when he was in college, and they came out. He came back full recovery. Brilliant future for James Worthy. Larry Spriggs. Cooper inside to Big Swin. He's got a nice looking hook. Nader has an excellent hook. Eddie Johnson. Kupchak. And Kupchak and Eddie Johnson. And Kupchak just wants to establish position. Well, this is a chance for some of the guys that don't get a chance to play the show. They belong also.
Well, look at Kupchak. He comes off with the rebound. He's going to rip it out of there and clear him off of him. It's a physical game, people.
What is this? What are they calling here? A foul on LaSalle Thompson. Oh, the offensive foul, and the Lakers get it back. You don't shoot free throws when it's an offensive foul. Double on the left, Nader and Spriggs. I mean, that is a double screen, folks. That's like a wall.
Yeah.
Here's Kupchak. Break it down. They go to Cooper. We're down to the final 2.5.
3-second violation on the Lakers. I think Nader was standing in the paint.
Only 11 turnovers in the game, John, for Los Angeles.
I know, that's amazing. And even though the defense by Kansas City hasn't been that good, and we've talked quite a bit about that, the way the Lakers run, you'd think they would just turn the ball over more than that by mispassing.
Sal Thompson getting aggressive and taking it to the hoop. He'll go to the line on the foul. Swin Nader. No, who was that foul? That was on Swin. And 5 on the Lakers. By the way, I think we should congratulate Kansas City. They secured the last spot in the Western Conference playoff on the last game of the season. Larry Mishaw was the big man, as we told you later. Golden State, or told you earlier, Golden State missed the playoff because Kansas City qualified, and they missed it for the 7th straight year. 4 times they've missed it by 1 game. They've had some tough luck.
And Cotton Fitzsimmons has coached teams, Phoenix, for example, that had better records and didn't make the playoffs, but with the expanded format, Kansas City's there.
And so he knows how John Bach and Golden State feels.
Yeah.
Block shot, Theus on the 3-on-2.
Theus is good on the break also.
Neely with a pump fake. And a foul called inside. And that was on Swin Nader.
Yeah, that was a replay of the play before by Neely inside. He's big enough when he gets it deep, unless you've got a lot taller man on him, he can use his body. Look at this. Look at the Kings around the basket, 4 of them. And Nader alone for a while until Kupchak comes into the action.
Eddie Neely on the line. 80% free throw shooter, not bad. As we told you, 8th round draft choice. Oh, well, we have an opportunity. I think what we have here, we have a whistle to call. Let's see if we can pick up what this is all about. Delay game warning against Kansas City. Next one, technical foul. I was going to say, while we have this opportunity, we've been here for USA Sports several times this year in Los Angeles, and the cooperation has always been excellent. So for that, I want to thank Josh Rosenfeld and the publicity department and the entire Lakers staff for really doing a nice job in helping us out. They're really exceptional. Larry Spriggs. And that is LaSalle Thompson. Theus. Very tough pass to pull off. Not many men can do that.
It is. Reggie throws it a lot also, and the bounce pass can skid on you. Sometimes it's the only pass you can throw, but in that situation, you can see how it will take off. You know, Theus over his career has been very good on the break at making the play as well as connecting himself.
McGee with Kupchak in the hole. Nader set up low left side. Spriggs looking to reverse and go to Swin. There he is. Pretty hook. Well, you see, that's a beautiful setup for him.
Sure it is, and Thompson not with the not having experience or seeing Nader that much. When you're playing Swin, you got to push him the other way, Eddie. That hook's too strong.
111-100 is our score, and a foul called on Mike McGee. He's got 3. They're over the limit and have been now since the 6:49 mark. The Kansas City Kings still have a foul to take if they want to do so. We have 1:11 to play here in the ball game. Tomorrow night, New York, Detroit on USA. Boston will be entertaining Washington in another game. Milwaukee entertaining Atlanta, and Seattle will be at Dallas. Tonight, New Jersey beats Philadelphia. The Lakers will beat Kansas City, and Phoenix is leading Portland in the fourth.
You know, Eddie, with a couple of breaks here, Kansas City is not that far out of it. It's 111-102.
9-point ball game. 3 3-pointers. Swin Nader, jam dunk.
Now, see, that type of thing hurts Kansas City because had they held them there and scored right away, they still had a shot at it with these 3-pointers.
Swin with 6 in a few minutes of playing time. 360 by Theus. Well, you know how tough that is to do, John, coming down on the fly and doing a 360.
Well, now let's reverse that. I know how tough it is. Do you know how tough that is?
It's tough to watch.
You know, Earl Monroe was one of the first in professional basketball to do it. Theus, I think, does it quicker than anyone I've seen. And when he 360s, he propels himself forward. Did you know that?
I just picked that up.
Okay.
Always learn something, John. If you don't learn something, you've wasted a day, right? You've been my mentor
Well, you
for
have
many
never
years now.
wasted a day. You will never be able to.
Are you trying to tell me that I've wasted a lot of days? 113-103.
Taking the foul.
Reggie Theus. And that's the one they wanted to take. Get it out of the way. Prevent an easy basket here. The Kings
had one to take.
Hey, look, give them a hand. They're staying, hanging in there best they can. I mean, quite frankly, Kansas City is not as deep, nor do they have the experience. And man for man, they don't have the talent that the Lakers do. And that's not being cruel, that's being honest. And they've done a nice job of trying to hang in here. Larry Spriggs, his first 2.
He almost looks like he's not a left-hander when he shoots that.
Reggie Theus, Nader, and Kupchak, both up there on the boards. Shot clock down to 18, game clock down to 20. Jack Nicholson finally makes his way out of here. Eddie Johnson on the foul, and that will put him over the limit.
I mean, when the #1 fan leaves, it's over?
I guess. I know one thing, he never took his sunglasses off. The lights are bright here at the Forum tonight. Well, we hope you've enjoyed. We want to remind you that tomorrow night USA will have another playoff game, NBA. And we will have continuing coverage of the NBA playoffs as we bring you the very best in NBA basketball on USA Sports. Check your listings for time and location. Michael Cooper, 116-103, and Coop now in the ball game with 9.
Lakers open up a bit more room, but a few moments ago, Kansas City could have had a shot at it.
We are down to the final 6. The Lakers will take a 1-0 lead in the series. John McLaughlin will have a post-game guest, and we're going to try and get James Worthy.
Yes, we will.
This
is James Worthy's first playoff game, because last year he missed the entire playoff series with that fractured leg, so we'll talk about that.
We also should mention the fact that Larry Drew and Reggie Theus, their 2 big guards, had 21 points between them, and that's not enough.
No. As
the Lakers have just shown that they are a dominant force and will be a team to watch in the playoffs this year. Final score, Los Angeles 116, Kansas City 105. Don't forget, we will have a post-game star. We'll return with a wrap-up on this one when we come back to the fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California. Final in this one, 116-105. The Lakers with a win. They lead the series 1-0, and they put on quite a show for the crowd here at the fabulous Forum tonight.
James Worthy is with me now. Tonight in this ball game, he had 16 points, and is certainly a key coming off the bench for the Lakers. James, first, this is your first playoff game. You missed all of last season with that leg injury. This was a very exciting game for you, I'm sure.
Yes, it was. I was a little nervous before the game, but I was real anxious all week to get into the playoffs. The last game in Phoenix, when I got poked in the eye, I said, oh no, here we go again. But fortunately, I stayed injury-free throughout the season, and I'm anxious to get started.
Lakers obviously played the game they wanted to play here tonight against Kansas City, although you had a couple of close scares late in the game.
They're a great perimeter team, and they do everything over the top with Johnson and Knight and Theus and Drew. So we had to concentrate on a lot of switching defenses, and they play right into our hands. They never tried to go inside, and so we didn't take them for granted and just came out and played hard. I think that was the key. We didn't take them for granted tonight.
James, frankly, the Lakers are expected to win this series. Kansas City has not beaten you this season. Do you feel any pressure from that because you're expected to win?
Yes, it is a little added pressure because that gives them all the incentive in the world to come out and play just as hard. And they can play a little bit relaxed in weekends. So I guess that does give them a little bit of advantage. But, you know, they're in the playoffs. So when teams make it to the playoffs, you have to forget the past history and just come out and play.
You know, when you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, you must talk about defense. A great defensive team, and of course Michael Cooper, your teammate, on the first team all-defensive team, by the way. I didn't know if you knew that. That just came out. Tonight he made some great plays.
Well, that's, you know, Michael Cooper's, he has a great attitude, and he's willing to compromise. He's a great offensive player too, but he's willing to compromise his offensive abilities to work hard on defense. And that's one thing with this team. I think everybody knows their roles and what they're supposed to do. And, you know, when he first came into the league, that's what he wanted to establish, I think, and I think he's done a good job.
We're going to look at some highlights, some James Worthy highlights here, James, and see if you recall some of the action here. This is a block that you made.
Well, I sort of figured he was going to go on the other side because he saw me coming. He was going to try to trick me, so I just went to the other side with him, and I got lucky.
And here's a fast break situation.
Well, Mike McGee, you know, this is just unselfish basketball here, which is a credit to this team. I knew he was going to throw it to me from the minute he got it, and I didn't see anybody on me, so that's the Lakers are great at the transition game, and that's just a part of it.
Must say something about Magic Johnson, and he's the key to your transition game. I know you love to get him the ball in the middle and just fill the lane.
Well, he adds an extra dimension to any ball club, I think. It's like having a sixth man out there. He's so creative, and it's like he's got, you know, eyes all over his head. So anybody who's playing with Magic is very fortunate because he makes an average player look great.
And I guess we might expect the same thing out of the Lakers. You don't have to change anything. You've had success against Kansas City. You're going to continue to play the same way in this series.
I think so. I don't think we're going to change anything. We're more concerned about ourselves than other teams right now. We feel that if we get our defense going, then that dictates our offense. So we're working on defense.
Okay, James, an exciting night here for you and for the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll go back to you now, Eddie.
Okay, Johnny Mack.